Hey everyone, and welcome back to our journey through the Bible. Today we're diving into Leviticus chapters 3 and 4, which might seem a bit dense at first, but trust me, they are packed with incredible insights about God's character and His plan for us. So, grab your Bible and let's get into it. Chapter 3 introduces us to the peace offering, or the fellowship offering. This is a really beautiful concept. Unlike other offerings that were about atonement for sin, this one was about communion and fellowship with God. It was a voluntary act of worship, a way for an Israelite to express thanks and joy. Imagine this. After the designated parts were offered to God, the person who brought the sacrifice and the priests would share a meal together from the remaining meat. It was a sacred meal, eaten in God's presence, symbolizing peace and a restored relationship with Him. It's a powerful picture of what we experience through Jesus, not just forgiveness, but true fellowship with our Creator. It wasn't about getting right with God, but celebrating being right with God. Now, as we move into chapter 4, the tone shifts a bit. This chapter details the sin offering, specifically for unintentional sins. This is a crucial point. The law made a distinction between sins committed in defiance and sins committed accidentally or out of ignorance. God understands our human weakness. He knows we mess up, even when we don't mean to. The chapter lays out different requirements for the sin offering based on who sinned. If a high priest sinned, his sin affected the entire community, so the sacrifice was significant, a young bull. If the whole congregation of Israel sinned, the same sacrifice was required. If a leader sinned, he brought a male goat. And if a common person sinned, they brought a female goat or a lamb. Why the different levels? It shows that with greater influence comes greater responsibility. The actions of a leader have a wider impact than those of an individual. But notice, no matter who it was, priest, leader, or common person, sin required a sacrifice. Sin always creates a separation from a holy God, and it always needs to be dealt with. The process was very specific. The person would lay their hand on the head of the animal, symbolically transferring their sin onto the substitute. The animal was then sacrificed, and its blood was sprinkled in the holy place, put on the horns of the altar, and poured out at its base. This act of atonement, this covering for sin, was the only way to restore the person to a right standing with God. Reading this can feel very distant, very ritualistic, but every single detail points forward to Jesus. He is our ultimate peace offering, the one who allows us to have fellowship with God, and He is our ultimate sin offering. Hebrews 10 tells us that the blood of bulls and goats could never truly take away sins. They were a shadow, a temporary solution, pointing to the one, perfect, and final sacrifice. When Jesus died on the cross, He became the substitute for all people, priests, leaders, and common folk alike. His sacrifice covers every sin, intentional or unintentional, for all who put their faith in Him. So, when we read Leviticus 3 and 4, we're not just reading an ancient legal code. We are seeing a beautiful, intricate picture of God's holiness, His justice, and His incredible grace. He provided a way for His people to have fellowship with Him and a way to be cleansed from their sin, all of which finds its ultimate fulfillment in the person and work of Jesus Christ. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this look into Leviticus has been as encouraging for you as it has been for me. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss our next study. See you in the next video.